Welcome to QLM Business News. Here are today's news stories. Winter fuel payments axed for millions of pensioners. In a significant policy shift, the Chancellor has announced that approximately 10 million pensioners will no longer receive winter fuel payments. From this autumn, only those on pension credit or other means-tested benefits will be eligible for the payments. The Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, cited urgent decisions due to the previous government's undisclosed overspending as the reason for the cuts. However, Shadow Chancellor Jeremy Hunt dismissed these claims as spurious, arguing that the previous government had been transparent about the state of public finances. During her address to a packed House of Commons, Ms. Reeves confirmed that public sector pay recommendations would be accepted in full, with NHS workers and teachers receiving 5.5% increases, the armed forces 6%, the prison service 5%, and the police 4.75%. Junior doctors have been offered a 22% pay rise over 2 years. These pay deals will cost an additional £9 billion, with 2/3 funded by central government and the remainder from departmental savings. The bulk of Ms. Reeves' speech focused on cuts due to what she described as a £22 billion hole in the public finances. Both the Office for Budget Responsibility, OBR, and the Institute for Fiscal Studies, IFS, have supported some of Ms. Reeves' claims. However, her decisions have been criticised as a political choice by economists and conservative politicians. Several major infrastructure projects have been scrapped, including a 2-mile road tunnel near Stonehenge, costing £166 million in planning. The A27 Arundel bypass in West Sussex, estimated at £320 million. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's plan for 40 new hospitals in England by 2030, costing £22.2 billion. The Restoring Your Railway Fund, which had allocated £500 million to reopen closed rail lines. Ms. Reeves accused the previous government of committing to spend money it didn't have and failing to inform the OBR. How dare they? She exclaimed, calling their economic record unforgivable. She highlighted unfunded overspending, including £6.4 billion on the asylum system and £1.6 billion in transport. The OBR confirmed it was informed of the spending pressures last week and is reviewing its forecasting methods. Paul Johnson, director of the IFS, noted the £6.4 billion asylum overspend appeared unfunded, but acknowledged the public pay gap was a known issue. Jeremy Hunt denied any cover-up by the previous Conservative government and accused Labour of misleading the public on tax rises. He predicted that Ms. Reeves' first budget would be a historic betrayal due to inevitable tax increases. Ms. Reeves announced the next budget for the 30th of October and outlined several other measures. Scrapping a planned cap on care charges for older people, saving £1 billion. Halting the sale of publicly owned NatWest shares. Ending the Rwanda deportation scheme for illegal migrants. Instituting biennial public sector spending reviews. Requiring departments to find at least £3 billion in savings. Cancelling the Advanced British Standard qualification. Launching a COVID corruption probe to recover £2.6 billion from dodgy contracts. Taxing private schools at 20% from January. Imposing a windfall tax on oil and gas companies. Liberal Democrat Treasury spokesperson Sarah Olney urged Labour to go further in making large companies pay their fair share of tax. Labour has committed not to borrow for day-to-day costs, meaning it will only use tax revenue for current expenditure, but it will borrow for capital investment. Both Labour and the Conservatives made similar commitments during the election, leading economists to suggest that either party would need to cut spending or raise taxes to meet their fiscal rules. This news story is brought to you by QLM Business News, your digital media channel. Visit qlmbusinessnews.com for more business news stories, Also follow us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. To help QLM Business News bring you more news stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe.